Good morning, all you Nirvanic journeymen out there. Today we are going to be talking about sleep and the challenges that cause us not to sleep very good, what we can do to get better sleep, and everything just about sleep, okay? All right, so Nirvanic Journey is a place where we come together to align our health with our enlightenment, okay? So that we can progress up to the next level and have that high vibration that we all want, crave, and need for our enlightenment, okay? All right, so let's start with our sleep. Oh, I want to give a shout out today to Aaron Dowdy, somebody that I've been watching for a couple years now. He's awesome. He talks about enlightenment. He talks about the 3D, the 4D, the 5D, and things like that, and puts it down on a level where everybody can understand it. And I just have a lot of respect for him. He reads tons of books, and he always talks about the books he got different things from. He's big on Dolores Cannon and all them. So check Aaron Dowdy out. Last name Doughty if you don't already follow him, okay? Now, today we're going to discuss all the important tasks, the all-important task of sleeping. We sleep nearly a third of our lives, and give or take, depending on how you do it. And I want to share with you what can prevent it, sleep patterns, and I'm going to be using a book called Sleep Medicine. And I'll have the link in the description box below if you want to try to get it on Kindle or something like that so you can read it. Okay, now sleep can be separated into two forms, non-REM and REM sleep. REM is REM, stands for rapid eye movement. Most of you probably know that. Non-REM sleep can be separated again into three different categories or phases. Phase one is sort of a transitional state where you're not awake yet, but not quite, or you're not still awake, but you're not quite asleep. The usual feelings in this phase can include drowsiness, eye movements that are slow and rolling, just kind of where you're dozing, and then reduced response to outside stimuli. Okay, people walking in, walking out, whatever. It doesn't matter. You're starting to doze off and fall asleep. Once the eyes close, the alpha waves can be measured using an electroencephalogram, which is an EEG, and that's how they do when you go to a sleep study or something like that. They hook you up to the EEG machine, and you're measured in at this phase in your sleep to 8 to 12 hertz, okay? The second phase is thought to be true sleep with less eye movement, less muscle tone, slower heart rate and breathing. Phase 2 features K complexes and spindles on your EEG, where it shows faster negative upward markings and slower positive downward markings, okay? Phase 3 has come to be known as deep or slow wave sleep. It is defined by rhythmic breathing, lowered heart rate, and delta waves on the EEG, okay? REM sleep differs because it is defined, that was non-REM sleep. REM sleep differs because it's defined by rapid eye movement, which comes in bursts on the EEG or the electrooculogram, okay? They measure your eye movement. Muscle paralysis, low muscle tone, diverse breathing patterns, and dreaming, okay? This sleep state has been proven to have the same EEG patterns of that of an awake individual. So you're at a much higher state of I'm in the wrong paragraph. You're at a much higher level of, oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Okay, during REM, the EEG shows sawtooth waves, and one is more easily aroused during this phase than in the non-REM sleep if you are disturbed or if somebody tries to wake you up, okay? But you're more alert is what I was trying to say a second ago. More alert in this phase, but you're sleeping. So you're dreaming and you're rapidly dreaming, your eyes are moving around. Throughout sleep, one will go from non-REM back to REM and continue the cycle until it's time to wake up. Between these cycles, brief awakenings or arousals do happen, and they are noted when you have sleep studies, but the person is usually not aware that he or she wakes or arouses or anything like that. It's interesting to note that babies need not go from non-REM to REM, as they can enter REM sleep directly from wakefulness, unlike adults and older children. Sleep patterns change as one gets older. At birth, the circadian rhythm or body clock is not fully developed, so sleep can occur throughout the day and night. Circadian rhythm emerges at approximately 2 to 3 months old. The first few weeks of life is a critical period of short duration sleep and fragmented sleep, because they have to eat a lot more too. They need to eat frequently. Okay, so now we have a handle on non-REM and REM sleep and how sleep cycles progress throughout our lives. Now I want to address what happens to us if we are lacking a sufficient amount of sleep. In this part, I'll be using an article I found on Elsevier, and I'll link it down below also. So our sleep cycles are well controlled by our miraculous and endogenous circadian clock located in the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or the SCN, in our brain. Studies have shown that what we learn during the day is stored in our memory while we sleep. Okay, during the day, we just kind of collect things. It's like us going shopping and buying a bunch of clothes, but not getting any of it out of the car. It can't be used until we actually unload it, wash, fold it, hang it up, and then put it in the drawer or closet, or until we bring it in, we can't use it, okay? And that's what happens at night when you're sleeping. Our minds do that with everything we learn that day. If we are not getting enough rest, we're not able to have good memory recall of what we learned that day. So it's not good to ever just cram for a test, okay, and stay up all night, because number one, you're not storing it in your memory, and number two, you're never able to access it, and you're not going to score very high on your test if you don't have 3 or 4 good solid chunks of time that you take to study. Okay, I can do another video on studying too, because I learned a lot being in school for 4 years. Okay, so if we're not getting enough rest, we don't have good memory recall. This is why cramming for a test isn't a good idea. If you are suffering from memory issues and you're getting sufficient rest, you might need to go back and watch the video on decalcifying the pineal glands, which plays a big part in our memory as well. Okay, so long-term sleep disorder can also lead to cell death and oxidative stress, which can lead to reduced serotonin levels, which plays a key role in a ton of cognitive as well as non-cognitive functions, like helping the hippocampus process learned bits of information into our long-term memory. Yay. Optimally, our bodies should work like a well-oiled machine. As most of you probably know, our bodies do their memory work as well as healing in the nighttime. So we really need a good amount of sleep. So let's get our body's circadian rhythm back on track so we can focus on upping those vibrations, right? Because that's our goal here on this channel, is to find our innate worthiness and to get that level of vibration way up here and high, okay? That's another thing Aaron Dowdy talks a lot about, is vibration, getting your vibration levels up. That's where I learned about it. Okay, so per the National Center for Biotechnology Information, it is estimated that 50 to 70 million Americans chronically suffer from sleep disorder and see sleep medicine doctors for it, affecting their daily life and affecting their overall health and longevity. After decades of research, the case can be confidently made that sleep loss and disorders have a profound and widespread effect on human health. Some of the disorders listed in the article that I looked up from NCBI are as follows: sleep disoriented breathing. These are all sleep issues, okay? Insomnia, sleep disorder, which means getting less than 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night. These things, sleep disorder can cause depressed mood, poor memory, concentration. It typically will get worse as we get older. It can cause obesity in adults and children. It can cause diabetes or insulin resistance. I'm having trouble talking. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm trying to talk fast. Can cause cardiovascular disease and hypertension, anxiety, depression, and alcohol use and abuse. It can also cause restless leg syndrome, also known as RLS, parasomnias, which can cause unusual sleep patterns, unusual movements, behaviors, and motions that occur while falling asleep and between sleep stages, such as mumbling, shrieking, or flailing your limbs, like feeling like you're going to fall off the bed, night terrors, sleepwalking, nightmares. And then sleep-related psychiatric disorders can also be caused from lack of sleep, which causes depression and daytime exhaustion. Sleep-related neurological disorders like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, and even schizophrenia. And then it can also cause sleep-related medical disorders other than what we mentioned on here. Now, here is how we can try to get our rhythm back in line and help us sleep according to cancer.org, because like I said, it can cause cancer even if you have low, or poor sleep habits. Okay, so this is what they suggest on their website. Go to sleep at the same time every night, okay? Wake up at the same time every morning, even on weekends, okay? I know it feels good to sleep in, but it's nice to keep our bodies in a rhythm to where we can have a habit, okay, a sleep habit. Don't take naps. You can also set your Alexa, tell me it's time to go to bed, and that kind of thing. Don't take naps after 3 p.m. Don't nap longer than 20 minutes because that'll affect your sleep as well. Stay away from caffeine after noon. And if you're still having some sleep issues, you might want to cut caffeine from your diet altogether. Why don't you try, instead of like coffee, try green tea. Now, I can have 1 cup of coffee first thing in the morning. That does not affect my sleep at all. But if I start having it in the afternoon, or everybody's going to Starbucks and we're getting a coffee, I don't, because that can really affect my sleep. avoid nicotine completely, because tobacco causes withdrawal symptoms at night and fragments your sleep and wake cycles. So your body will wake up and you'll want it. You know, you'll be withdrawing from it, so it'll wake you up. Okay, exercise regularly, but not within 2 to 3 hours of bedtime, because you know it produces serotonin and dopamine levels to raise, and it gives you a lot of energy. So don't exercise at night or late at night. Don't eat heavy meals late in the day. A light snack at bedtime is okay. Make your bedroom comfortable, dark, and quiet, not too warm, not too cold, to where you can really relax and sleep good. Follow a routine to help you relax before you go to sleep. Read something, listen to music, turn off the TV and other screens at least an hour prior to bedtime. Don't lie in bed awake. If you can't fall asleep after 20 minutes, do something calming until you fall asleep, like read a book or listen to soft music and some earphones or something, so you don't disturb people around you. If you can't get into a good rhythm of sleep-wake cycles, definitely talk to your doctor about this, because there is stuff you can do to get you back in a good rhythm. I would recommend doing a short-term stint of melatonin. Now, when I say melatonin, they recommend 5 milligrams at a time, and they come in 2.5 milligram gummies. The ones I got from like Costco, I think, came in 2.5 milligram gummies, and they recommend taking 2 at night. I bite one in half, and that's just enough to make me, if I'm like out of my sleep cycle, if I traveled or something like that and I come back and I can't sleep, I'll bite off a half of one. That just gives me enough of that drowsiness to go ahead and fall asleep. And if that doesn't work, take a whole 2.5 milligram. But I would work my way up from 1.25, okay? Because that's not something you want to take long term, because whatever you do for your body, it doesn't do for itself. Okay, and your body naturally creates melatonin. Okay, so let's get that working good. Okay, guys, that'll wrap up this session. Please remember, I'm not recommending you ever change anything without discussing this with your doctor. If you feel like you're not getting good sleep and you're having health issues because of it, go see a sleep medicine doctor and see if maybe they can make some recommendations to you. I wish you all the best. Peace, love, happiness, blessings, much light and love, and namaste. Bye.